The Galactic Throne was a place where fear did not enter easily. It was the center of power for more than 1,000 alien empires. It controlled stars, fleets, armies, and knowledge older than most civilizations. But on this day, every alarm inside the throne hall screamed at once. A sensor officer, a thin insect-like creature, stared at his display with shaking hands. The lines of energy readings were impossible. They moved like waves smashing into each other. Something is entering real space, he whispered. The room fell silent. Real space entry at this level was forbidden by the laws of physics. Nothing could enter with that much force. Nothing could break the void barrier. If anyone tried, their ship would be crushed into dust before it even appeared. But this object pushed through as if the universe itself opened a door for it. The display flashed bright red. Object sized, unknown class, unknown energy level, EXT. Member of the council turned to the giant viewing window. Space outside seemed to twist, like a dark storm forming in the empty void. Light bent, stars trembled. The very shape of space was being pushed aside. And then, it arrived, a giant warship, black as a dead sun, no lights, no engine glow, no markings, no sound. It simply existed as if it had always been there. The ship was so large that even the high generals whispered in fear. It dwarfed battleships. It made dreadnoughts look like toys. Its hull seemed to drink the light around it, pulling brightness into endless darkness. The council shouted orders. Scan it, identify it, find its power core. But every answer came back the same. No data, no march, no materia light to feed even the deep scan satellites. The ones built to read star cores returned empty. It's absorbing our signals, the sensor officer cried. Nothing penetrates its hull. Nothing reflects back. Across the galaxy, panic broke out in military command centers. Fleets scrambled into formation. Planetary shields activated. Old alliances forgot their hatred for a moment, united only by fear. Rumors began to spread like wildfire. Is it a rogue AI? Maybe it's a lost empire's superweapon. No ship can be this powerful. What if it comes from outside the galaxy? None of the theories explained the impossible size or the impossible entrance. Inside the Galactic Throne Hall, the council members argued loudly. No ship can break the void barrier. It must be a trick. Then identify the species. We can't. No signature, no life signs, nothing. The panic reached its peak when the dark warship suddenly powered up one system. Not weapons, not shields, communications. A silent pulse spread across space. Every communication channel in the galaxy, from military bands to civilian networks, went black for 1 second. Then a message appeared. No symbols, no codes, no translation needed, just one sentence. A sentence spoken in calm, cold English. Humanity has returned. The words echoed across every screen, every speaker, every device. Billions of aliens froze. Generals stared at the message, unable to believe what they were reading. Civilian transports went silent. Markets crashed. Temples went quiet. Because everyone knew that name. Humanity, a species that once existed but disappeared long ago. A species remembered only in ancient war stories. Stories that parents told their children to make them obey. Stories of a race that fought like fire, built like gods, and destroyed like storms. Humans were not considered extinct. They were considered a warning. The Galactic Council sat in silence. No one breathed. No one dared speak. Finally, the Supreme Chancellor, a seven-eyed being with a voice older than stars, whispered that is not possible. Humans vanished thousands of cycles ago. A cold breeze created by the throne hall's systems reacting to rising stress moved across the room. If humans truly returned, a general said slowly, then every legend becomes real. And every fear, another general added. The Chancellor looked at the dark warship again. Its presence felt heavy, like a giant kneeling above the galaxy, deciding its fate. Prepare all defensive fleets, the Chancellor ordered. We cannot let this ship reach the core worlds. But the generals hesitated because they remembered something else from the old stories. No one who fought humans ever survived. Do we attack it? One general asked, his voice shaking. The Chancellor closed his eyes. We must be ready. If the legends were true, humans were not warriors. They were monsters. Outside, the mysterious warship remained silent and still, like a shadow waiting for the right moment to move. And for the first time in thousands of years, the entire galactic throne trembled. Fear spread across the galaxy like fire on dry grass. Moments after the message "humanity has returned" appeared, every government, every military base, and every space station fell into chaos. No one knew what this new human warship wanted. No one knew if humans came for peace or destruction. And worst of all, no one knew how many more human ships were hiding in the dark. Inside the Galactic Council building, emergency lights flashed across the chamber. Thousands of communication screens lit up with reports from all corners of the galaxy. Civilian panic on 3 core planets, trade routes blocked, frontline fleets requesting permission to fire, unknown signals detected near the outer arm. The Chancellor slammed his hand on the table. Silence, one at a time. But fear was stronger than authority. Across the council floor, The oldest members whispered to each other. These were species that lived long enough to remember fragments of the past, old stories about humans. Stories that were never written in history books because they were too terrifying. Stories about how humans fought wars with an intensity no alien could match, how humans refused to surrender even when outnumbered, how humans created weapons that other species swore were impossible. But the most frightening story was the final one. Humans vanished suddenly, and no one ever learned why. Some believed humans destroyed themselves. Some believed they ascended to a higher dimension. Others believed that they simply disappeared to prepare for their return. Today, those old stories no longer felt like myths. The mysterious warship floating outside the throne's systems proved that humans did not die. They only waited. Military commanders across the galaxy stood before their holographic maps. Fleets were moving into position, but no one wanted to be the first to attack. No one wanted to start a war with a species known for making entire empires kneel. A commander of the reptilian Drask Empire hissed nervously. Why is the ship not moving? What are they waiting for? A bird-like strategist from the Core Republic answered. Maybe they want us to attack first. The idea made everyone shiver. If the humans wanted war, they could have fired already. If they wanted peace, why send such a terrifying warship? The warship continued to float silently, like a giant predator waiting for its prey to make a mistake in the outer fleets. A young alien pilot watched the dark ship through his cockpit window. It felt unreal, like looking at a nightmare that stepped into real life. He spoke softly into his comms. Is there really only one ship? His commander answered, voice shaking. Yes, only one. But the pilot felt no relief. If this is what one ship looks like, what happens if more arrive? No one replied, because everyone was thinking the same thing. Meanwhile, rumors spread like a second storm. Some said the humans had found a way to live forever. Some said they conquered a distant galaxy and are now returning. Some believed the ship was a live biomechanical creature, created by humans. Others whispered the most terrifying theory. What if humans never left? What if they were hiding among us all this time? That rumor spread fastest. Shops closed. Schools shut down. Millions stayed inside their homes because if humans really could hide their identity, then anyone could be human. Back in the throne hall, a new alert flashed. Unidentified object approaching the human warship. A scout ship, a tiny vessel sent by the brave or foolish ambassador. He wanted answers. He wanted proof that humans were truly back. The scout ship moved slowly toward the giant warship. Every sensor, every drone, every telescope across the galaxy watched the moment. The council held its breath. Ambassador Krytel, do you copy? No reply. Krytel responded. Silence. The scout ship drifted closer until it reached a distance of 100 meters. Then it vanished. No explosion, no light, no sound. One moment it existed. The next moment, nothing. The sensor officer shouted, voice breaking with fear. The ship didn't explode. It didn't retreat. It didn't jump. It was erased. Completely erased from space. Shock hit the council like a hammer. If the humans had technology that could erase matter without a trace, then every fleet of the galaxy was useless. The Chancellor's voice trembled as he spoke. We cannot fight them. Not like this. A general shook his head. But we cannot let them enter the core worlds. Another general whispered. What if they already can? What if they don't need permission? The question filled the room with cold silence. Hours passed, but the giant human warship made no move. It simply stayed still, waiting, observing, watching, and that made everyone even more terrified because predators did not rush. Predators waited for the right moment to strike. Across the galaxy, one truth became clear. The humans had returned, and they did not come with peace banners or greetings. They came with silence, and silence was always more frightening than war. For many hours the mysterious human warship stayed silent. No movement, no weapon signals, no new messages. This silence was worse than any threat. Across the galaxy, every alien empire watched the ship with fear. Some prayed, some prepared for war, some prepared to run, but no one understood what the humans wanted. No one dared to speak to them again after the scout ship disappeared. No one wanted to be the next to vanish. Inside the galactic throne, tension grew heavier and heavier. The council met again, their faces pale, their voices thin. A general shouted, we must act. We must force communication. Another member replied, force communication? With humans? Are you mad? The old legends told one clear thing. Humans always replied when they wanted to reply. Never before. Never after. So when the warship suddenly powered up its communication array again, every heart in the throne hall froze. A calm voice filled the entire chamber. Galactic Council, the voice said, we will speak now. The voice was human, clear, deep, confident. It carried no fear, no emotion. The hologram systems in the hall activated on their own. Bright light filled the room, and then the figure appeared. A human commander. Tall, straight, dressed in a dark uniform the council had never seen before. He looked strong, but not monstrous, but not friendly. His eyes, however, his eyes looked like someone who had seen too many wars. The Chancellor forced his voice to stay steady. You are human. The commander nodded once. Yes, another council member asked. How? Your species vanished long ago. We did not vanish, the commander replied. We evolved. The room fell silent. The chancellor stepped forward. What do you want? Why have you returned? The commander's face remained expressionless. We are not here to conquer your worlds. We are not here to destroy your fleets. Relief washed through the room, but only for a moment. Then why appear with a warship? The general asked angrily. To intimidate us. The commander slowly shook his head. No, we came because you are in danger. The temperature in the chambers seemed to drop. Danger? From who? The chancellor asked. The commander turned his gaze toward the stars. Not from us. His voice became lower, colder, from something coming from outside your galaxy. A wave of confusion spread across the throne hall. What threat? What species? What enemy? The commander raised one hand, and the hologram changed. A dark mass appeared, huge, shifting, alive. We call them the Devourers, the commander said. A life form made of living metal and corrupted energy. The hologram showed enormous creatures tearing apart a star system. Planets cracked like eggs. Stars dimmed and died. Ships melted in seconds. The council stared in horror. The commander continued. They consume everything. They do not negotiate. They do not communicate. They only expand. A general whispered. Why haven't we detected them? Because they were far away. The commander replied. But now, he pointed to the edge of the hologram. They have reached the borders of your galaxy. Shock hit the room like a punch. They destroyed 3 of our outer colonies, the commander said, but we slowed them down. The chancellor repeated. You mean they cannot be stopped? The commander only replied with silence, and that silence was worse than any answer. One council member shouted. You expect us to believe this, that some monster species threatens the galaxy? The commander looked at him calmly. You do not have to believe me. He stepped closer to the hologram, his form sharp and clear. But ask yourselves one question. Why would humans return now, after thousands of cycles? The room went silent. The commander spoke again. We are the only ones who have fought them before. He paused. We are the only ones who survived. The council stared at the hologram in disbelief, fear rising like smoke in the air. The chancellor's voice shook. What do you expect from us? The commander answered with a cold, simple sentence. Prepare your fleets. Prepare your worlds. Because when the Devourers arrive, his eyes hardened. Your galaxy will burn if you stand alone. With that, the hologram blinked out. No more words. No more warnings. Only silence. And the silent human warship still watching the galaxy. Waiting. Preparing. Because something worse than humans was coming. After the human commander's warning, the galaxy fell into a fearful silence. No one wanted to believe his words. No one wanted to believe that something worse than humans existed. But the signs came quickly. Too quickly. Only 2 rotations after the transmission. The first strange event occurred. A star system near the outer rim Valora system went dark, not dim, not damaged. Dark. Every planet, every station, every satellite, silent. The Galactic Council received the report with shaking hands. Val is gone, an officer whispered. The chancellor felt a coldness spread through his chest. Explain, how can an entire system be gone? The officer swallowed hard. We don't know. The stars still shine. But everything else is missing. Missing, the word hit harder than destroyed. At least destruction leaves something behind. Missing leaves nothing. The council sent 10 drones immediately. Fast, armed, protected with high-tier shields. They entered the Valora system, and within minutes, all 10 vanished. No debris, no explosion, no signal loss, just vanished. The same way the small scout ship had vanished near the human warship. A general shouted in panic. It's the humans. They are testing weapons. But another general shook his head violently. No, the humans warned us about something else. Something from outside. The argument grew louder. Then, another alert flashed on the screen. Second system darkened. Velos cluster. No signals a second. System dash. Gone, not destroyed. Erased. The council chamber filled with fear once again. This time deeper. Heavier. The chancellor whispered. The humans were telling the truth. Far from the throne, border fleets began to detect strange readings. Energy waves that made no sense. Gravity patterns that bent like folded paper. Heat signatures that came and went like breathing. One border captain, a 4-armed Trell soldier, stared at his holodisplay. What is that? His navigator asked. I don't know, the captain replied. But it is. Coming closer. The signal pulsed again. For a moment it formed a shape, long, twisted, alive, then it vanished. The captain's hands trembled. Send this to the council now. Across the galaxy, panic reached new heights. Citizens packed into shelters. Refugee ships launched without permission. Some planets began evacuating, even without orders. The galaxy was cracking under fear, but the human warship, it remained in the same position. Silent.com/watching. As if waiting for the right time to move. Inside the throne hall, the council gathered again. We cannot face an enemy we cannot see. One member said, we must ask the humans for more information. Another argued, no. A general shouted, we cannot show weakness. But then a new hologram appeared, just like before. The human commander. His expression was unchanged, but his eyes carried a warning. "You have detected the first signs," he said. The Chancellor stepped forward. "Is this the Yes, the hologram shifted. This time, the image was clear. A massive creature made of living metal, its body shape constantly changing, its surface covered with glowing red cracks like molten lava. But the most terrifying thing, it was eating a moon. Not breaking it, not blasting it, eating it slowly like a creature chewing food. The council members stepped back in horror. "They feed on matter," the commander said. "Planets, moons, space stations, ships, life, energy, everything." One general whispered, "How many of these things are coming?" The commander's voice went quiet. "A swarm." The word hit the room like thunder. "Your galaxy is their next meal," the commander continued. "If you fight alone, you will lose." The Chancellor finally spoke. "What can we do?" The human commander nodded once. "We will help you. But first, you must understand one truth." The hologram zoomed out, showing dozens of devourer creatures moving through dark space. "Your weapons cannot kill them. Your fleets cannot stop them. Your shields cannot block them." He paused, letting the silence settle like a heavy weight. "But we humans, we learned how to fight them." The council stared, fear and curiosity mixing. The commander added, "And my ship is only the first. More human fleets are coming." Outside the throne hall, communication networks buzzed with panic and hope. Maybe the humans truly could help. Maybe the galaxy still had a chance. But one chilling thought lived in every mind. If the Devourers were strong enough to nearly destroy humanity, what chance did anyone else have? The galaxy looked to the dark human warship, the only beacon of power in a growing darkness, and far away, near the galactic edge, a new system went dark, the third one, and the real war had not even begun. The galaxy did not have to wait long, only one cycle after the third star system went dark. The Devourers finally showed themselves, and the galaxy learned what true fear was. It began at the outer defense line, a chain of heavily armed stations protecting the border of civilized space. These stations were designed to stop entire armadas. Thick shields, heavy cannons, and thousands of fighters stood ready, but all their strength meant nothing. A massive tear opened in the darkness, like space itself ripping apart. Black lightning cracked across the stars. Then a huge shape pushed through, a devourer, its body twisted and curved like a living storm. Metal plates slid over each other like scales. Space rippled, then tore open, then ship after ship after ship dropped out of hyperspace. Silent, black, massive, some were the size of moons. Some carried cannons bigger than alien capital ships. Some had armored wings that moved like living creatures. Every ship carried the same symbol, a burning white star, the old sign of humanity. The fleet stretched far into the void, disappearing into darkness. Even the commander felt the weight of the moment. "Transmit full fleet count," he ordered. The answer came instantly: 412 capital ships, 1,000 escort ships, 5 Titan-class flagships, and incoming jump tunnels still opening. The commander exhaled. They were not just ready for war. They were bringing a storm. Meanwhile, in the galactic throne, the Chancellor and the Council stared at their screens as scanners detected the impossible. Human signatures, hundreds of them, dot the room filled with terrified whispers. This is a full war fleet. How did they hide so many ships? Are they here to save us or conquer us? A young council member murmured what many feared. What if humans are more dangerous than The Chancellor didn't speak because he didn't know the answer. The human command's decision back on the Black Star. A new alert flashed. "Commander, a Devourer second wave is approaching. Estimated arrival 12 hours. The commander turned to his officers. "Deploy the fleet into defensive formation." "But sir," an officer said carefully, "what if the aliens refuse alliance? What if they fear us?" The commander didn't hesitate. "They will fear us," he said. "They should fear us." The officer swallowed. "But we fight for them, sir, right?" The commander finally looked at him. His eyes were tired, old, carrying the weight of a species that had almost died out. "We fight for everyone who still breathes," he said. "We fight because we know what happens if we don't. We fight because we already lost one galaxy to the Devourers." The room went silent. The officer whispered, "So the rumors are true. Humanity's home galaxy. It was consumed." The commander didn't answer, which was answer enough. Human fleet message to the galaxy across thousands of alien worlds. Screens flickered. Holoprojectors activated for the first time. The entire galaxy saw the full human fleet behind the commander. The view was terrifying and beautiful. The commander spoke, "Citizens of the galactic throne, the Devourers come to erase your worlds." He stepped aside, showing the endless wall of human warships. "We will not let that happen." Billions of aliens watched, breathless. "We offer alliance. We offer protection. But understand this, there is no second chance. We must unite now, or fall forever." His image hardened. "The Devourers consumed our home galaxy. We will not let them take yours." Then the message ended. Every screen went black, and the galaxy had to choose. Galactic reaction: some worlds cheered, finally seeing hope. Some cursed, fearing humans more than monsters. Some militaries prepared to join the humans instantly. Some governments whispered humans are too strong. What if they win the war and then take the galaxy? But no matter what they thought, one truth was clear. The humans were not asking. They were already fighting. The first sign of the swarm back at the galactic edge. The commander watched his fleet form up. Suddenly a tremor spread through space. A sickening vibration. Red alarms triggered across the black star. Commander, multiple anomalies. Devourer signatures are arriving. Space ahead twisted like liquid. Black cracks spread across the void. And then one enormous red eye appeared. It stared at the human fleet and blinked. The commander whispered, "The mother devourers are here." A shape the size of a small star slowly crawled out of the darkness, its skin moving like boiling flesh, its mouth opening sideways, its scream echoing through the void. Every human ship raised weapons. Every alien sensor detected the same signal. This monster was 10 times larger than the first one, and behind it, more eyes opened. Hundreds, thousands. The swarm had arrived early. The commander gave only one order: human fleet, stand your ground. The first battle for the galaxy had begun. Red cracks pulsed like beating veins. Its eyes, if they were eyes, glowed with hunger. The border commander spoke with a shaking voice. "Target locked." "But what is that thing?" His second officer whispered. "It's not a ship. It's a creature." The devourer moved slowly at first, like something sniffing the air. Then it opened its mouth. A massive beam of red-black energy burst outward. Silent, fast, unstoppable. The first defense station evaporated instantly. Not destroyed, not exploded. Evaporated, turned into dust in a single second. The commander screamed, "Fire! Fire everything!" Thousands of weapons launched at once. Missiles streaked through space. Laser beams cut through darkness. Plasma cannons glowed like tiny suns. The devourer did not dodge. It simply absorbed the attacks. Every shot hit its body and disappeared, like raindrops falling into an ocean. The creature's metal skin rippled, but nothing more. A pilot shouted, "Our weapons do nothing." Another screamed, "It's coming toward us." The creature opened its mouth again. 3 more defense stations vanished. The entire borderline fell silent. Inside the galactic throne hall, alarms screamed. Outer defense line 7 has fallen. Unknown enemy advancing. Defense fleets are engaging, failing, falling back. The council watched in horror as real-time footage appeared on the HOLO-screen. Their proud fleets, millions strong, looked like tiny insects striking a world-eater. The chancellor whispered, "We are powerless." A general shouted, "Where are the humans? Why are they not helping?" As if responding to the call, a new signal appeared on the sensors. The mysterious human warship had moved, for the first time since it arrived. The silent black ship activated its engines. The darkness around it twisted as it accelerated faster than any alien ship could dream of. In seconds, it reached the battlefield. The alien pilots were stunned. "It's them. The human warship is here. Are they going to attack the creature?" The human ship slowed, facing the DEVOURER. It was like watching 2 titans meeting before war. The devourer turned its massive, shifting head toward the human ship. It opened its mouth again, but this time the human warship moved first. A bright, white-blue sphere of energy grew beneath its hull. Small at first, then larger, then larger. A pilot watching whispered, "Is that a star?" The sphere exploded into a beam brighter than anything the galaxy had ever seen. The beam sliced through space and slammed into the devourer. For the first time in the battle, the creature screamed, a terrible, echoing scream that shook the comm channels. Its metal body cracked, its energy veins flickered, its skin peeled away like burnt metal. The galactic fleets watched in disbelief. Our weapons did nothing, but the humans, they hurt it badly. The devourer staggered, thrashing like a wounded monster. It tried to fire back, but the human ship moved faster, far faster than anything the aliens had ever witnessed. It blurred across space, appearing behind the creature in an instant. Another blast. Another scream. The devourer's body folded inward, collapsing like a dying star. Red energy leaked out, spewing across space like liquid fire. Then the creature exploded. A silent, bright explosion that lit the entire border. The battlefield went quiet. Alien pilots sat in their cockpits, frozen. Commanders stared at their screens, speechless. Entire planets watched the footage with wide, terrified eyes. The impossible had happened. A human ship killed a devourer, the chancellor whispered, voice full of awe and fear. They truly did it. But before hope could grow, the human commander appeared again on every channel. His expression was grim. This was only a scout. Silence returned, a cold silence, a single devourer. "Testing your defenses," he continued. "The real swarm is still coming." His eyes hardened. "You have seen how your weapons fail. You have seen how ours work. Now you must choose." The council leaned forward, trembling. The commander's voice fell to a quiet, deadly tone. "Stand with us, or die alone." Across the galaxy, billions felt the same chill. The humans were powerful, may be powerful enough to fight the Devourers, but now everyone wondered if humans were strong enough to destroy these monsters. What else were humans capable of? The galaxy had gained a protector, but it had also gained a threat, and the real war was only beginning. The galaxy trembled after the first Devourer was destroyed. Billions watched the recordings again and again, the human warship moving like light, the Devourer screaming as if the universe itself was tearing apart for the first time. The aliens saw hope, but that hope did not last long. Inside the galactic throne, every council member stood frozen as the human commander's message echoed. This was only a scout. The real swarm is coming. The chamber fell silent. No one breathed. No one blinked. The Chancellor gripped the edge of the table, his voice barely a whisper. How many more are coming? The human commander looked at him through the hologram. His face was not angry, not frightened, just serious. Hundreds, he said. Maybe thousands. A wave of shock filled the room. One general stepped forward. If thousands of those creatures arrive, our galaxy will fall. Yes, the commander replied calmly. If you fight alone, you will fall in less than one cycle. Another general asked, why are they coming here? Why now? The commander looked at the stars behind him. The Devourers consume galaxies. Yours is simply the next one in their path. The Chancellor asked the question no one wanted to ask. Can they be stopped? The commander nodded, but only once. With unity, with preparation, with leadership. Leadership, a council member asked. Whose leadership? The hologram flickered for a moment, then the commander stepped forward. Human leadership. The words hit the council like lightning. You expect us to give command of our fleets to humans? The Chancellor demanded. Yes. The commander's voice did not waver. You have never fought the Devourers. We have. You do not know their strategies. We do. You do not know their weaknesses. We learned every one of them through blood. A silence heavier than gravity filled the room. A proud reptilian general hissed, and if we refuse, the commander didn't blink, then your galaxy will die. The general stepped back, not because of anger but because he saw no lie in the human's eyes. Outside the throne hall, panic mixed with hope across the galaxy. Some species wanted to accept the humans immediately. Some wanted to resist. Some believed the humans wanted to take over the galaxy for themselves. Some believed the humans were the only chance to survive. Civilizations argued. Governments split. Armies prepared for both war and alliance, but the human warship stayed where it was. Silent, patient, watching. As if the humans already knew the council's answer back inside. The Chancellor tried to regain control. We must think, he said. We cannot make such a choice in fear. The commander spoke again, voice colder than before. Then listened carefully. The holoimage zoomed out, showing a dark map of the edge of the galaxy. Red dots appeared. 1, then 3, then 15, then 50. Every dot pulsed like a beating heart. These, the commander said. These, the commander said, are the Devourer signatures entering your galaxy right now. The room erupted with screams and disbelief. It can't be. 50 already. They're coming faster than we thought. The commander continued, and this is only the first wave. The Chancellor's hands tightened. How long until they reach the core worlds? The commander paused, then said the one sentence that changed everything. Less than 30 days. 30 days. 30 days until destruction reached the heart of the galaxy. 30 days until every empire would burn. 30 days until the Devourers ate the stars. The council looked at each other, fear rising like a tide. The commander's eyes narrowed. You have a choice. Join us under human command, or die as separate, broken empires. Then he delivered the final warning. Do not waste time. The swarm is coming, and the hologram vanished in a flash of cold blue light. The throne hall erupted into chaotic shouting. Do we trust them? They are humans, but they can fight the Devourers. What if they take over the galaxy? What if we don't let them and we all die? The Chancellor slammed his fist down. Enough. His voice echoed through the hall. He stared at the spot where the hologram had been. We will decide soon, but every second lost is a life lost. He lifted his eyes. Prepare a vote. The galaxy must choose. Outside, the human warship turned slowly, aiming its bow toward the dark edge of the galaxy, toward the place where the Devourers were entering. Its engines glowed like a rising sun. And then it jumped into the darkness. Not running, not hiding. Leading. Because the humans knew something the galaxy did not. The real battle had not even begun, and somewhere in the shadows of the universe, the rest of the human fleet was finally arriving. Dark space stretched endlessly at the edge of the galaxy. Cold, silent, empty. At least that was what the Galactic Council believed, but humanity knew better, because in that darkness, something ancient was waking. The Black Star, the mysterious human warship, dropped out of its jump tunnel. Its hull glowed faintly, still carrying scars from the Devourer scout battle. Inside, the human commander stood before a massive display of star charts, red dots spreading across the galaxy like an infection. He spoke calmly into the comms status. Are we alone? A voice replied, steady and confident. Negative, Commander. Human fleet signatures are arriving now. The commander closed his eyes for a moment. Finally, after centuries, humans were returning.